Hi guys, I hope you're well. My name is Eunice Oyule. For those who are new to this channel, well, I'm also new to this channel. Anyway, so my name is Eunice Oyule, as you've heard, and all I'm about here is just to share my testimonies, to share how I got into the governance space, the kind of things that happened to me that I feel like those moments highlighted the best things. Those moments uh, made up some of the best things that ever happened to me in my career path. And so I don't regret. I'm actually loving it. And so I want to share the second part of this. So there's this time we had been invited. So in the last video, I had shared how my mentor called me for the first meeting ever. So in this meeting, what we were supposed to do is we were supposed to be trained. It's the same meeting where I met Daisy, you remember? So this is a good time to tell those who did not hear the last story. Please go and catch up on that, and then so now you'll be able to know why I'm referring to Daisy and my mentor, and where now this part of the story comes from. So now my mentor calls me at 11 p.m. in the night and tells me, you are coming to a workshop where you'll be trained on what to do. And the forum is called the Multisectoral Initiative Against Corruption. And so for us who are going to this workshop, we were supposed to be trained on how to facilitate the different workshops that were going to be there. So the different workshops that were going to there were going to be with different sectors. Think of the education sector, the private sector, the religious sector, and all those other sectors that you can imagine. The women, the youth, all those sectors. So we get into this meeting. This is the meeting where I'm telling you I met Daisy. So we get into this meeting. We are taught on what is expected of us, and yeah, so we are waiting for the conferences or the workshops to start so that we can start the work we are being sent to do. So I want to fast forward because now the highlight of this part is in the end of these conferences. And the end of these conferences was going to bring together like government, foreign affairs, um, governors, senators, the president, the vice president. Then it was the leader for BBI or the former prime minister, Right Honorable Raila Odinga, all those people. So they were going to come to this conference. And so in this conference, I was part of the organizing team. So what happened? This is the best part, guys. So what happened? It was like the eve of now the day when the conference was supposed to be held. And so on that day, so the conference was actually 2 days. So the first day of the conference, after the meeting was over, as the organizing team, we were called together. And then so now we were restructuring because the second day is when the president was going to come. And you all just know what happens when the president is coming to a place. Think of security. Think of the kind of arrangements that need to be made, like all those things. So we had to prepare uh, earlier so that by the time he was coming the next day, everything was set. So what happens is that night I go home and I told God. I remember very well. I told God, God, me, I want to serve. I want to serve the president. I want to serve the vice president. I want to serve, those high-leveled guys. Those are the people I want to serve. So we weren't even serving them much. It was just giving them water. But I remember it was so huge for me. Like I just wanted to serve them. So I slept that day, then the next day comes. So at this point, we went for the meeting. Sorry about that. We went before the now conference started. We were called in for a meeting. And in this meeting, we are seated and duties, people are being given different duties. And one of my friends suggests, so one of my friends suggests to one of the leaders, the leader who was now coordinating us on the protocol for the president and how the seating arrangements for the foreign affairs and governors, that if she wants someone to work with, then she should consider working with me. And he put in a good word for me. So, no, it was not because he's my friend, it was because he genuinely saw my work. I am very proactive. I am very proactive. And so when he said that, I was so jazzed. So this friend of, so this lady who was told that she should consider working with me, she called me and we started working together. So when we went in, the meeting was supposed to be at Bomas. So when we went in, we started preparing where the governors would sit, where the president was supposed to sit, the foreign affairs, and also now the government officials. Apparently, the foreign affairs, that's where I learned the foreign affairs doesn't always sit where the government is sitting. Like the foreign affairs always have their own sitting place. That's where I learned that. Yeah, so we arrange all that and that's done. So that day I was in a trouser. And there's a reason why I'm saying I was in a trouser. So remember the prayer I made the previous day that I wanted to serve these high-leveled people. Right. So on this specific day, the president comes in, the vice president comes in, and when they're coming in, you can feel the power. It is so evident, let me tell you, and it is so sweet. Oh my. So they came in, and then so there's a lady who was given the task to serve them water. So when she was given the task to serve them water, I was at the door. I think I was standing at the door with the president's security guys. And I can't remember what really I was doing there, but I remember there was an incident that had happened, and these security guys just took out someone. They just whooped that lady. She was claiming to be one of the governor's PA, and she was almost causing commotion. So they just whooped her out of that place. And so I just realized that it was calm all of a sudden. Then one of the president's security was like, if she comes to disturb you again, just let us know. Oh my, those people are lethal. Anyway, so she never came again. She sat very far away from where I was. So after that, me, I hear someone calling my name, and I'm like, okay, so let me check who it is. Then it was one of the ladies she was a protocol person for the president's office. So she told me, come, let's go so that you can serve the water that other lady is serving. And the reason why that other lady was told to stop serving is just because she was in a skirt and I was in a trouser. Let me tell you, I just looked at God and said, God, hey, I see you have done something there. But you know what? I won't refuse. I am going to serve them because this is what I prayed for. That's when I realized the prayers we make, which sometimes some of them seem to be so insignificant in the eyes of men, those prayers are so important in the heart of God. Like he can do just something to make you understand that he is for you and not against you. I was so jazzed. I went and served water. That's when I was told, that's when I realized actually, you don't serve the president. The president is served by his own people. Even the vice president, even the former prime minister, I didn't serve the three of them. But the rest of the government officials, I served them. Now, then I really desired to serve them because in my mind I was just like, oh, this power looks nice, looks attractive, looks all that. But right now I know better. I know better. But you know, those things which God answers, which you don't think he will hear, but yet he hears and answers. And so yeah, that was the testimony I wanted to share today. And so yeah, just to say, try God, trust God with what you want. I mean, He'll make it happen. How He made it happen for me. Do you know when I was serving? Because my mentor was seated right behind, actually, the two of them, they were seated right behind the governors because they were also giving speeches. So when she saw me, when she saw me serving these people, she was shocked. She was looking at me, those of, how are you here? How are you serving these people? But yeah, when you're given an opportunity, you take advantage of it fully. So I took advantage of mine fully. And so yeah. I hope by the you're enjoying these stories. But yeah, so that is what happened. I'm glad to share these things because I know, just like I said in the previous video, I know we are living in a time where sometimes it feels as if God is not answering your prayers. And it may be too lonely because sometimes it's as if other people are being, God is answering other people, but for you, it's as if nothing is really happening. Probably that could be a good place for you to ask God, what then should I do? What is your will for me? Because I remember even me, I got to that point of starting to ask God, life is not working for me. So then, what is your will for me? Could it be that God is looking out for your attention so that now He can start working with you? And if that's the case, just surrender because you, like, the things God will do for you are higher than those things which you can do for yourself. If there are opportunities, He will give you those that please your heart, those that when you look back, you're able to give a testimony smiling because you know very well by your own strength, you wouldn't have done what you experienced. But if it is God, let me tell you, it will be sweet. And then you'll just be looking back and saying, thank you, Jesus. And your testimonies will keep touching people's lives because you know very well they did not come from yourself. They came from the Spirit of God. And so, yeah, probably it's time for you to just tell God, you know what? Let's do this. Just try and see. So, yeah, have a good one. See you in the next episode. Bye.